40 or 60? Do less cards offer more plays, or do more cards offer less bricks? Welcome to the second installment of the Mind Crush series, where we capture and unveil all the core Yu-Gi-Oh principles that are both
timeless and universal.
past, present, or future. These principles will always be significant and improve your ability as a duelist. In this video, we will be answering the lifelong question, which deck size provides more favorable odds of winning, a 40 card deck or a 60 card deck? Now, before we begin, if you have not tuned into Mind Crush Lesson 1 already on card categories, then you have gone too far. As we make references to card categories throughout this video, you may have a difficult time understanding what we're talking about. So check out Lesson 1 pinned in the upper right corner of your screen. Now, for the real ground gamers, if you listen right to the end of this video, we've got a bonus just for you. So let's get right to it. It's time to think macro. To be honest, the answer to today's question cannot be provided without first introducing hypergeometric distribution.
I'm doing the math, man.
Suppose our hand consists of the following. This is considered an ideal hand by many duelists. Because of this popularity, what if our opponent's goal is to also open the same hand with their deck? We will each have 2 disruptions to respond with for the 1 starter and the 1 extender respectively. If we cannot play through 2 disruptions going first turn 1, we're likely not going to win. If we can play through 2 disruptions going first turn 1, the board we have established is now met with the opponent's 6th card drawn and their benefit of a battle phase. If the other card fails to provide us follow-up, this scenario is often skewed in favor of whoever is going second on turn 2 of the duel. For a 40 card deck, to consistently see 1 starter, 2 disruptions, 1 extender, and 1 other in our opening 5 card hand, we would need to main deck the following ratio. This is called hypergeometric distribution. If you probably remember Zodiac format, which was infamous for its 6 normal summons and 12 starters, then you are no stranger to hypergeometric distribution. With 32 out of 40 cards pre-allocated by card category, this leaves 8 flex spots for our obligatory soft and hard bricks. To keep our ideal hand consistent, in a 60 card deck, we'll need to maintain this distribution. With 48 out of 60 cards allocated, this leaves 12 flex spots for obligatory soft or hard bricks. Notice that when we compare the ratios in an optimized 40 card deck versus the optimized 60 card deck, the probabilities generally aim to maintain a minimum of at least 57 to 58% for each card category. This is known as the distribution, which is up to the duelist. The 007 variance makes all the difference between seeing a brick and not seeing a brick, which is very little. This variance is apparent across the board when comparing the 57.7% in a 40 card deck to a flat 57% in a 60 card deck. So the final answer for this ideal hand is we are 007% more likely to see our starters, extenders, others, and bricks in a 40 card deck than a 60 card deck. The closer the variance is to 0, the less significant the 40 or 60 deck size matters. With this ideal hand, our deck is now in equilibrium. But you're probably wondering, what if you want a different ideal hand? What if you decide to skew the hypergeometric distribution off equilibrium intentionally? Well, let's take a look. Suppose this is now your ideal opening hand. Similar to the last ideal hand, you can still interact with the opponent if you lose the die roll, thanks to the 2 disruptions. However, this time, if your opponent disrupted your starter and extender with their 2 disruptions, you have 1 extender remaining to proceed your turn. The logic behind this is, given most duelists use their 1 other card to search for a second extender in order to play through and end on a semi-respectable board, it would make sense to replace the other card in hand for a second extender. To see consistently 1 starter, 2 disruptions, and 2 extenders in your opening 5 card hand in a 40 card deck, you would need to main deck a total of these ratios. With 38 out of 40 allocated, that leaves 2 flex spots for any obligatory soft or hard bricks, or 24% probability. A quarter of the time you will see at least 1 brick in your opening 5, and 3/4 of the time you will not. This duelist has also accepted a greater risk tolerance for potentially opening 2 normal summons, now that there are 7 main decked starters in total. Since this is intentionally off equilibrium, a similar distribution for a 60 card deck cannot be duplicated. So if you desire a different ideal hand, prioritizing 2 extenders over the one other, or perhaps prioritizing 3 disruptions instead of 2, then there's no choice but to intentionally build a main deck off equilibrium. Just know that by doing this, the distribution offered by a 40 card version of your deck cannot be duplicated. So with that said, comment down below and let us know what your ideal opening hand is. Do you prefer 4 extenders and 1 other? Do you prefer 4 disruptions and 1 starter? Or maybe you like equilibrium and you prefer low variance decks that can perform regardless if it had 40 or 60 cards main deck. For the real ones, as a bonus, here at Ground Game, we took the time to dissect and break down 40 versus 41. If you want our hypergeometric distribution and our breakdown and learn how 1 card can make or break your likelihood of success, join us on Discord and comment your Discord username below. Only usernames in the comment section will receive a message from us. Thanks for listening. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, check out the links down in the description, and that's game. GG.
Stand your ground.